Hey fellow programmers, welcome back to Void Canvas. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to write your first node.js program inside a Raspberry Pi. And to do that, today we are going to need a Raspberry Pi with its power adapter, a small memory chip which is an SD card. I've taken a 16 GB SD card. You can take up to 32. An adapter for the SD card, an Ethernet cable, and of course your computer. So as a very first step, I will put the SD card in the memory adapter. I'm going to insert it in my Mac, and I'm going to open the terminal. Before doing anything else with the SD card, let me download Raspbian. Raspbian is the official operating system of Raspberry Pi. There are other operating systems as well, like Ubuntu Mate and others, but as this is the official one, so I would like to prefer downloading this. So yeah, this is Raspbian. It has two versions. One is the full version and second one is the light version. I would recommend downloading the lighter one. Okay, now that the downloading is done, let us come back to the terminal. And here, first of all, I will try to find and unmount the SD card. So you need to provide the password. So as you can see, this is the SD card. Okay, so it's listed as dev disk 2 S1. It can be disk 3 S1 for you if you have other devices or other disk mounted. Cool. So now it's time to unmount this. Sudo disk util disk 2 S1. Cool. Now it is unmounted. The next task is to copy the downloaded Raspbian into the SD card. Okay. So for that, we need to run is the path of the downloaded image 2018 light image, and well, we are going to send it our disk 2. Okay, this is going to take some time, probably 5 minutes, so we will skip the waiting time here, and the installation is completed. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to put a SSH file inside the SD card. Volumes boot. Okay, so we are creating an SSH file, just an empty SSH file inside the SD card. That is because Raspbian by default doesn't open up the port 22, which is the SSH port. If you create this file, then if you insert the card to your Raspberry Pi and boot it, then it will come to know that you want the SSH port to be open, and it will do so. Okay, disk util. Now it's time to eject the disk. Or you can also give the disk name disk 2. Cool. Okay, so I have plugged in both Raspberry Pi and my router, and I'm back to the terminal. And now I will run arp-a, okay, to get the IP addresses of all those devices which are connected to my home router using an Ethernet cable. So in your case, if you do not have much devices already connected to your router, you will probably see only one instead of these many IP addresses. Okay, so I know that these IP addresses belongs to some other devices of mine, and the new IP address is this. Okay, so now we'll try to make an SSH connection to this IP address. So SSH pi @ this IP address. Yes, it will ask me for a password. So the default password for the Raspbian OS is raspberry. So okay, so we are here. See, so nothing is here yet, but you have successfully SSH'd to the Raspberry Pi now. Now the first task is to change the password, the default password. So the command for this is raspi config. Okay, so I need to use sudo here. Cool, so we are here. See, the first option is change your password. We've selected that. You will now be asked to enter a new password. Okay, fine. So enter new Unix password. I have entered the new password. Cool, it's changed successfully. Now the second thing is to get rid of the Ethernet cable. You will always like to put the Pi anywhere in your house, so it's better to use the Wi-Fi instead. So to do that, you need to copy this code, which is there in White Canvas website, and put it in nano etc networks interfaces. And you have to change your SSID and your password. This is your Wi-Fi name and this is the password. Okay, now I'm going to save it. Cool. The next task is to install node.js. So for that, I will recommend using NVM, because it is always easier to switch around versions of Node and NPM. So it's always better to use NVM, Node Version Manager. If you come down, you will get the command here. I will go back. Cool, the NVM should be here now. NVM command not found. Okay, we may have to run source bash rc. Cool, npm. Okay, nvm install. So I'm installing Node using the NVM. Cool. So my current Node version is 9.11.1, and if you are not familiar with NVM, you can do a lot of stuffs using NVM. See, this is the current default version Node. Cool. So now we have Node as well. Console.log something. Cool, something is printed. So let us create a new folder for our project. mkdir project. We'll go inside project. We will create a new file, index.js, and if you are familiar with Node, these things will not bother you much. So we'll just write a simple program. Hello world. I'm so much habituated with them. Cool. Now if you run it, hello world will be printed. So that's it. So goodbye for today, guys. It was Paul from White Canvas.